Welcome back to another episode of GAMER-0 where we spread that gaming truth like a virus. I'm your host T-Heel. So, you've seen it. I got two reviews for today. Break this up into two videos. First one is going to be Resistance 3. So, Resistance 3. You guys already know what the story, the plot is about. This is the conclusion to the trilogy. That's, taking place over Part 1 and Part 2, and now coming to its culmination with, instead of, you're used to Hale, but you're not getting Hale this time. You're getting Joseph Capelli. Oh my god, this story is amazing. It's really about, it's not like the first two are all about the military shooters, big army versus alien. This is about one man really going against all odds on a trip to save his family and what's left of the human race. It's a good story. You do get caught up in the characters to some degree. It's not the most epic story where you're going to feel like encompassed in these characters' lives. You do feel the plot. You feel the plight, the human race, and that it's on the verge of extinction. And the Chimera pretty much are pounding it down. They're really showing their dominance in this one. So that's pretty much, I won't go into ruining the plot for you. I will say this on a plot note piece. The series has a very, what I felt was an anticlimactic ending. And if you guys played the series and there's some expectations that I built up for this, and I feel like the ending fell a little short of those expectations. It wasn't a bad ending by any means. Just, it was a happy kind of cheer-all ending. There are like some cliff note paperwork that you can find around in the game that alludes to a grander scheme of things. But I'll let you guys explore and figure that out for yourselves. I just felt the ending was a little short. Like it left something to be desired. Rest of the game story, phenomenal. So let's hop into graphics and talk about the presentation value. Art direction, amazing. I really love the gritty art. I love how every set piece was varied. A lot of people said, oh, it's just a regular military shooter. You didn't finish the game. You didn't play through it. There's every single set piece has a very, very somber type of feel, but very much, doesn't matter whether you're in a snow place, you're in a sunset like Kansas City or whatever. Everything has a very bleak type of feel to it. But they're all, for color schemes, they're all varied. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. There are some set pieces, one where you're running through a city and the buildings are coming down and the Chimera are fighting, and I'm not going to ruin any of that for you. But when it's happening, keep in mind, I played the whole game in 3D and speechless. The 3D was amazing, and some people, 3D's whatever for them. I personally, if the game's in 3D, I enjoy playing it all the way through. I think it really adds a level of experience to it, and there are some set pieces in Part 3 that really show off what 3D is all about. But getting back to the art direction and set pieces, the character designs, the Chimera just seem more vicious in this one. There's a train sequence that has this really nice feel to it. The humans look a lot, I think everything just looks so much more polished. No, it's not the Uncharted 3 level caliber. Does it need to be? No. Does it sell the experience? Yes. Definitely yes. It's not one thing that pulls the art direction and the graphics together. It is the whole experience. From the debris in the air, to the wind drift, the sway of trees, it's almost like they were out to paint a picture of what world would be like at this time, and they did a phenomenal job. Hats off to Insomniac Games for producing this stellar art piece. It's really, as art is amazing. The graphics, frame rate smooth. Maybe it bogged down just a little, if any, during like heavy combat scenes, but for the most part, butter smooth, and that's even with 3D. Just really, it didn't have like the bells and whistles, but man, did everything chime right. It was a phenomenal technical piece. Gameplay. So for the single player, weapons spot on, controls spot on, learning curve very small. By the time you get through the first initial stage, you're smooth. You're going to be golden. If you're new to the series, it only takes a 5 to 10 minute learning curve, and you're in. Gameplay, I'd say, depending on how you play, 10 to 15 hours, depending on how you play, and different difficulties and what you're trying to get out of the experience will vary that a little bit. Love the single player combat, the variety of weapons. The weapon wheel is back, of course. You all know it. Every weapon, when you upgrade it, adds more aesthetics to the actual weapon, but also to what it can do for either its single fire or its alt fire. Platforming, really smooth. There are some nice gameplay kind of cinematic set pieces. They're very scripted. All the fights and set pieces are very scripted, but there's no one way to really handle them. I mean, yeah, there's some corner spots where there is only one option, but a lot of the areas are kind of like Crisis 2, where they're open set pieces, one end goal, but a big area to go through to get to that spot, which was really nice. A good variety of Chimera that deploy tons of different techniques, whether flanking, whether they use suppressive fire and flank you from the sides, and it's a good mixture that you never feel like you're fighting too much of the same type of guy for too much. It's a good switch up, and I really enjoyed that. Of course, there's co-op, so you can play through the game, the main story campaign with a buddy, either local or online. Then there is the multiplayer portion, which I love. And a lot of people think it's just kind of a throwback. They didn't really hit their nail. I would disagree entirely. Every time you level up, you feel more powerful. I have had no bugs. Some people said they had some bugs. I haven't experienced any. Game runs smooth. Graphics look beautiful. 3D still looks beautiful on multiplayer. And I cannot stress this enough. The more you level up, you feel more badass. And your kill to death ratio increases the higher level you get. So it just felt so much, it felt gratifying to actually level up. And for MP, for me, you guys know, it's kind of a throwback. I'm more of a single player campaign, but the MP really caught on to me. So sound. The sound was, I love the sound design in this game. The music, the sound, everything kind of keeps you immersed and caught up in the moment. You always feel like, whether you're shooting down a Chimera with a sniper rifle, you're shooting them with an auger through walls, everything sucks you in. The sound of your rounds, the sound of a Chimera screaming as it dies. The voice acting was all top notch. It was a very well put together sound piece. Again, hats off to Insomniac for delivering an amazing, amazing sound piece. Replayability. The fact that you can play through it again with a buddy as many times as you want. There's different cheats and augmentations you can unlock. There's a multiplayer. I have to really say the replayability is a good part of this game. It will keep you coming back. And it's got 3D. Sharpshooter. If you guys don't like move, fine, whatever. You don't have to use it. I enjoy move. I enjoy the sharpshooter. I enjoy 3D. Those are selling pieces to the game. Problems with the game? Only problem I saw at all with this game, and this isn't even a problem, is I felt like the ending was a little anticlimactic. I was expecting a little bit more of a lead up, but was it a bad ending? Again, I have to say no. So giving it a score, I have to give this game easily a 5 out of 5 badasses. Resistance 3 hits it perfectly. I'm only pretty much expecting to see what Rage has to offer. Battlefield, yeah, that's cool. But Resistance for shooters is right up there with Crisis 2. And yeah, 5 out of 5 badasses for Resistance 3. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Next one is going to be about Dead Island. So let's get it in.